Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with Molix Baits. Casey is here to tell us about some of mainly this new swim frog they have out for Molix Baits. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this one?
Well, this is one of our newest baits for the year. Going really hot right now. Catching tons of fish all over the country. One of the neatest things about this bait is our new leg system. The new legs have a deep rib to them, so when you have a straight retrieve, these legs are just kicking, creating up a big bubble trail, making a lot of noise. The cool thing about the system is when the legs get tore up from catching so many fish, the way our design is, you can buy a set of legs to replace and redo. If you don't have a set of our legs, which you'll want to get, by the way, you will be able to put any type of swim bait, paddle tail, double tail grub, whatever you would like, you could put on for the time being and continue on during the day. Probably one of the hottest swim frogs on the market right now.
Awesome. I think this is going to be really good. It looks like, by the way you described it, it's going to be catching a lot of big bass out there. It's going to be catching a lot of bass in general. But this is the one thing that really caught my eye. I've always looked for a weedless squarebill, so you know what? If we ever have a bait company, I drew it down on paper. Weedless squarebill, boom. I come here and I see your weedless top water weight bait / squarebill. And I'm like, whoa, somebody already did it. And I come in, I'm looking, and why don't you tell us a little bit about this amazing looking top water weight bait / squarebill?
Well, what the cool thing about this bait is, number one, a lot of people always ask, how's the hookup ratio? Does it work? This bait is actually, I want to say, probably 8 years old. Started out in Italy at this size. Brought it over to here, and it just had a raving success, catching fish left and right. So they had to spawn the baby shortly thereafter. So we actually have two sizes in this model. What's very unique is the fact that it's a soft body and a very hard head. That allows us to have the crankbait action that this gives, but also allowing the frog body weedless deal. Right now, with no water in this, it's just like a regular bait. It will float. So you retrieve it, dives down, floats back up. As it begins to fill up with water, it will turn into a suspending crankbait. It'll drive it down, and then when you pause, it'll just sit there. As it takes more water, it'll then become slow sink, fast sink, so on and so on. So no matter how much water is in it, it'll always have a crankbait action. Now you can throw it wherever you want. Skip it under docks, under trees. It's just an amazing bait.
How many colors come in that bait?
For the U.S. market, there's at least 6 to 8 colors, and there isn't a bad one. We've got daddy bass, we've got the bloodfish, we got a mossy craw. For all you craw lovers, we got like the demon red, we call it the WCC red craw. Of course, the leopard, sexy shad. I mean, there's a host of colors to fit every water type, clarity, depth.
So everything. So I love the attention to detail of these baits. I mean, even though we're not covering it, you have a beetle. I mean, if you can pan the studio, the setup here, the booth. They have jigs, they have soft plastics, they have hooks, they have rods back here, they have hard baits, they have blades, spinner baits. They have all sorts of amazing made in Italy, right?
They're designed in Italy.
Designed in Italy. And then you bring that design and that amazing architectural genius from Italy and you bring it to America and put it in these baits. And these are outstanding lures. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome, buddy. Good to see you.
See you.